Yeah, I think that's really common for maybe most people, is that this isn't exactly exciting. It can seem boring in the beginning. You know, when we're used to instant gratification, um, when we're used to things um, you know, kind of needing to capture our attention quickly. Um,
Bells and whistles, entertaining, flashing lights,
yeah.
the
Taste.
voice of your higher self.
Yeah. Yeah. We're always kind of grasping for the thing that's going to stimulate us. Um, I'm speaking very generally, of course, but you know, the more we're sensitive, the more that we open to the senses and actually notice what's actually happening from moment to moment, we move from this territory of needing coarse stimuli towards finding interest in the subtle. So we're moving from the coarse to the subtle. And we gain the ability to notice more subtlety in ways that we may not have been able to imagine, with physical sensations, with emotions, with sounds, with sights and smells, nuance of movement. We pick up on so many more subtleties of life, which makes the moment so much more full. You know, a lot of boredom comes from feeling like there's really nothing interesting happening. The more that we open to what's happening, the more nuance and subtlety we experience, and the more interesting it becomes. Because we notice that a lot is actually happening, and that everything is always changing. And that this experience is actually so much more full and full of wonder and awe and nuance and vibrancy than we may have, you know, taken it granted for. And, you know, a lot of people will start out with visualizations. It's kind of like a movie, you know, you're the director. I'm not trying to demean them at all, but like they're, and visualizations can be nuanced, but compared to this type of practice we did today, visualizations tend to be a little bit more coarse or stimulating. You know, at the end of a long retreat, or even after a full day of just practicing mindfulness, we can become highly sensitized to what we previously would have thought of as banal or boring or ordinary. You know, we can look at the sidewalk or the walls, and the more we're truly present for it, the more beautiful it can become. Much less the trees or our family or the miracle of our own breath. And this is one of the profound benefits of continued practice. Is that we're increasing our sensitivity to the full spectrum of emotion, of all of our sensations. We notice how stimuli can then lead to perception, feelings of pleasantness or unpleasantness or boredom, lack of interest. Reactivity. So, sometimes people ask me what I learned being a monk, and one of the things I keep coming back to is that I just realized that I didn't really need nearly as much as I thought I did, including entertainment and excitement. Don't get me wrong, I like entertainment, I like excitement, but I don't always need it. Because the moment is more than sufficient. But, I used to think it was boring, or I was afraid of it, or I didn't think it was good enough. The more we practice, the more we see through that. When we practice mindfulness, sometimes it can feel quite entertaining. Sometimes it can feel like we're going through an arduous education or torture. The flavor of it can feel different depending on how we're navigating through each experience. But, sometimes it can feel quite entertaining. Like, wow, this is happening right now. This is what I'm feeling. This is what's present. This is pretty cool. This is amazing. I've never noticed this before. Wow. Yeah. One of the big insights I had that I sometimes forget is that, that when we develop our mindfulness practice, and if we really are sincere with it, that there's less opportunity for boredom. And, may even venture to say that they are mutually exclusive. That if you are mindful, there's just inherently a lack of boredom, which, when we really feel into that, it's kind of exciting.